Okay, now, dear friends, welcome everyone. Hello, hello, wherever you are. Can you see and hear me well? Let us activate the chat. Hello, Alexey. Yes, hello. Welcome. How are you doing today? Fighting spirit as usual. Many people don't know, but today we have a special guest for you. So I guess we can start. Please activate the chat so that we can get some feedback from our listeners. More people are joining in. There are almost 300 people. Okay, the chat has been activated. Now, dear friends, today we have a very important day. Today, we would like to share an important piece of information with you because some people misunderstand or have no knowledge of what it really means. Today, we're going to have a general discussion and go into some detail about the legal package of the company Dexnet. I believe that it is a very important aspect. While people are joining us, I'm going to make a few more introductory remarks and then we'll start. Last year, we had a hardworking year, no matter how you look at it. And we were preparing to fully package the company to rather build a solid foundation under the company so on which we could erect a tall building taller than Burj Khalifa. That is why last year proved to be quite intense. And last year, in the last quarter, even before that, we started to work on the solid legal foundation for our company. And we managed to implement our idea before the end of the year. And this is exactly what we're going to discuss today and make the presentation. And hopefully, many people will realize what we have done, because some people don't really understand why we went in that direction. Alexey, if you have anything to add, you can do it now, and then we'll introduce our guest for a more detailed overview what I'm talking about here. Yes, those people who were with us on the 15th of December at our first anniversary, you could see remember the information that we shared with you, and the representative of the company that helped us with the legal protection of our IP products told us in general terms what it is like and what it is all about. But even there, I realized that not everybody realized the sheer scope of that. And we asked Dr. Sanjar. This is the person who owns the company, and I hope Dr. Sanjar will tell you much better about himself than I will. We asked him to find time in his busy schedule because it is indeed a top level company, and the legal packaging, as Igor is saying, for intellectual property done by that company, it's done only at the top level with major large companies at state level, maybe. And what we have today, I'd call it a lot of work done and a good appreciation of that work. That's why I would like to hear from the main source what has really been done, what is IP, why the company was valued at such high level, and what it means for our company. Igor? Yes, then I guess we can give the floor to Dr. Sanjar. Dr. Sanjar, welcome. I guess that you'll be the best placed to tell us about these things. And there are quite a number of, there are more than 300 people already, and more people will join. But I guess you can start already. Very briefly, what has been done, why we went in that direction in the first place, because our community is already quite big for our big community to realize why it was done in the first place. Thank you. Over to you now. Yes, hello. Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me well. My name is Dr. Sanjar. I'm the president of the consortium Sanjar Group. We are working all over the world. We employ 250 people, 45 people in the Emirates alone, and we're doing legal protection legal packaging for different projects. First of all, for digital or virtual or cryptocurrency-based projects. And when we received the initial request from the company Dexnet, because we've been working in the Emirates, we've been working there for the past 10 years, especially actively in the past 3-4 years in the field of virtual assets and cryptocurrency. When we received that initial request from the company, we do our own due diligence or checkup on the level of innovative intensity of the project. If the project is not innovative, I don't do it personally. We have 45 people. They're all expert lawyers who can do this job better than I can. But considering that this project was highly innovative, we're talking about an invention of cutting edge technology. We're talking about a storage space without a single server. This is what the whole mankind will appreciate. And I decided to pitch in personally and help the guys how to make it safe and secure. Because any innovation, which is cutting edge, is always ahead of any legislation. And it's quite a normal process. And if we don't upgrade the legislation to the level of the technical development of the project, it can lead to some negative outcomes. That is why, considering that very few people think about how to do the legal work, many people release coins, tokens, things like that, trying to earn quick bucks. But here, guys had a totally different approach. They were not eyeing any scamming schemes. They were very seriously set on this idea. When we studied it at length, we were convinced and we offered our best legal knowledge and expertise to package you and your rights protection as good as possible. We worked with the company for many months and we are always trying to race against time, but we did all the due diligence and analytics. We made sure that it's not plagiarism. Those are not like hacked or stolen technologies. It's not like repackaged thing, because there are a lot of wrongdoings in that area. It was indeed a revolutionary project. When we were convinced about this, we prepared a long list of IP products and explained how the company can be fully legally protected. Here, it is important to note that indeed, if we look at it, there are hundreds and thousands of projects about virtual assets, but there are very few of them who have full legal framework correctly set up. I understand that many people listening to me have had in life some relationship to virtual assets. So any virtual assets can be subdivided in two big parts, coins and tokens. And by default, the main regulator of this is the American SEC company. No matter how you look at it, there are still big leaders here. And they create the rules. There are other ways to legalize, but unfortunately, everybody one day or another ends up there. It's quite a long and difficult process. It takes a few $1 million, more than 12 months to do that. You need to create a lot of administrative structures, do the certification part. It's quite difficult. Many startup projects fail with that. But as long as Dexnet was trying to do it faster, we had a legal solution to offer them. When we do any kind of, when we make the buyer of this, or the owner of the project, the co-owner of the technology, yes, you don't own the share of the company because it's impossible. The company with 500, 100 people cannot be turned into a joint stock company, but you can own it indirectly through the IP product. For all those people who start working with this project, we are not investment consultants. We're not telling others whether to buy or sell. And we're just there to explain that the virtual assets issued and the tokens you buy are based on smart contract for buying and selling of the real shares of IP products registered, duly registered in accordance with the Basel Convention. In our case, the registration covers the whole world, 181 countries of the world. Automatically, you don't need, in other words, to expand the whole package of intellectual property rights to include new countries. Basel Conventions has been exceeded by a big share of all the countries. See, and based on that, this global protection helps us protect also the rights of the investors in all those countries who are signatories of the Basel Convention. I want you to simply understand you're not simply buying a virtual asset, which potentially can or cannot make money for you. No matter what earning or royalties or return rate of the company can offer, it's not our business here, or it's not what we're concerned about. What we are confirming is that the assets released is the tokenization of the shares of intellectual property by laws of real economy. In other words, you're buying a share of intellectual property, and you know that intellectual property has existed for more than 100 years. And the documents prepared for the company, I will show you some of those documents. Those documents ensure full legality for the company. If tomorrow some new C1, VARA, or other agencies, especially, I'm sure CIS country doesn't, I don't know what you have, some Secret Service or prosecutor's office. What did you sell it for? What did you sell? Or you can sell, or you can show them the certificates on the site. You can tell them that you bought a share of intellectual property that which is duly registered. There is a registry with the right owners, with the type of IP product and how much it costs and valued. Everything is valuable and verified in the internet. And this is the cardinal difference of this project from hundreds and thousands of others, which are launched and initially they're not that legally protected as Dexnet. I want you to understand this. You become the co-owner of the IP property of the product of the company, even if it is a micro share, but it is building on the real asset. And the Basel Convention has been signed by all countries. Only Iran hasn't signed, but most of the countries have. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Many partners don't even know this new types of registrations. This is the registration, which is registered in our case in Germany. You can see here, these are all the products. This is the brand and the technological solutions on storage. It's the international registration paper. That's why it's in all English. Everything is certified and registered. What does it mean? It means that you can see that since 5th of December of last year, Basel Convention covers this, and it solves two challenges. First, the team from Dexnet, they have protected their rights to what they have created, because there were a lot of technologies and different products, and owing to this certification of IP products, they have protected their rights. Nobody is going to steal this right from the company. If they didn't do it, the first who would see this product on the market and see that it's growing popularity would simply submit the application, download their algorithms, would have described it a certain order and registered in their name. And then Dexnet would have lost everything. It's called legal raiding. Sometimes it happens. It's unethical business doing, or patent trolls, if you heard this term. Some people are paying for that. They find out that the project has no registered IPs, and they steal this general utility ideas from the company. So there would be another project born, and they would have banned Dexnet to use this technology, because the one who has this product rights registered in their name, they're the legal right owner. Others are owning it illegally, and it covers all the countries. So basically, all the CIS countries have signed Basel Convention. So you can stay assured that nobody is going to steal the ideas from the Dexnet project, because they have legalized all their legal rights. And to cancel these rights, you can cancel these rights only upon the decision of the Federal Court of Germany. That's one interesting caveat. Not a single other court can cancel these rights. Only the federal court of Germany, that they will have to go into litigation for 5 years at least. There are other courts in the UK, in the United States, and I don't want to put blames on anything because I don't know who this broadcast will cover. But I can tell you that the German court is quite stable because they're quite old school and highly bureaucratic. There were attempts, at least I'm unaware of any examples when such rights would be canceled by the Federal Court of Germany. That's number one. So basically, they have legalized their rights to the intellectual property. But that's not all. The registration given to them, it's called the intellectual property strategy. I'm using the smart words. I'm not a PR manager. I'm more of a lawyer myself. But the legal protection strategy implies the second dimension here, which is the ban on the implementation of similar projects with similar algorithms and similar concepts. In other words, if somebody else would want to take something, what Dexnet is doing, tweak it a bit and relaunch it, if it were a somewhat different system like patent on the legislation on utility models, that there would still be such a loophole there because the patent law system as the subset of industrial property, it protects identical applications. In our case, we decided to use a different copyright system, which protects the whole concept. It's a more complicated process. It's not cheap, I can tell you. And the company has invested a lot into this. It simply means that not a single wrongdoer is going to invest so much into this because they are pursuing different goals. But if a serious team is serious about their legal protection as well as the blocking of any other competitors who would like to repeat their ideas, it simply testifies to their seriousness of their intent. We cannot testify on how quickly their business will develop. That's not something we can certify. But legally speaking, if somebody else would like to repeat or replicate a similar concept of product in the Basel Convention signatories countries, then the Dexnet company has enough remedies at its hand to take measures. What measures? Is called case injunctions. But if somebody has an internet site, fintech project or something to copy, they have enough legal grounds to start litigation. And within this litigation case, block the hosting domain without any court decision. It's important. Why? Because after we provide protection for the intellectual property, we additionally assessed or valued the company, and the valuation was done at the level of more than $100 million. It's quite a significant amount. And in case of plagiarism and stealing of intellectual property, it is part of a criminal offense already. I'm sorry, Igor, if I'm going to too much of a detail, you correct me, okay? No, you're doing very good. We're also attentive listeners here. So why that was a fair evaluation? Because of the innovative intensity and the coverage, because there are certain standards for the evaluation. I'm going to show you the valuation that we did for the company. So that valuation allows us to ensure the level of criminal prosecution, because we're talking about criminal prosecution. You cannot wait for somebody to be killed. Any judicial authority must, or law enforcement must put a stop to this crime. If it were patent or trademark, then only by the decision of the court that it takes 3-5 years to get, you could undertake something. But in this case, considering that it is a criminal offense, you must put a stop to it. Putting a stop to a criminal offense in a digital asset sphere, it implies blocking of domain, switching off of hosting, switching off of any payment mechanisms, and deletion from the Google and Apple Store. This is the valuation certificate. As you can see, everything is duly verified and certified and confirmed. As a result, through this case injunction, you can block the wrongdoers' domain. Their payment system is switched off. Their applications are canceled from Google Play or App Store. they basically disappear, and then you sue them in court. And moreover, if you identify a crypto wallet on some exchange and that bank account also blocked, only after that the litigation starts. But our practice shows, because we're quite strong in this litigation business, and we understand that the blocking of domain and switching off of hosting for even one day or one bank, or arresting the bank account, strikes a much more terrible blow than the decision of court in 3 or 5 years from now. And all of that has been invested into this from the very beginning, because we're not providing simple legal protection. Because the company comes, they say, we want to protect our business. Okay, here's our brand, we want to register a trademark. It's super easy. But here, the whole legal protection strategy was developed, which includes protection mechanisms, offensive mechanisms, litigation mechanisms, commercial secrecy mechanism, which controls even the actions of the staff of the company, because there can be risks not external but also internal of the company. And there are a lot of commercial secrets internally. And we made it at the top quality, top world projects. Once again, I repeat, there are very few companies who are prepared to do that, because it's not cheap. But the company decided to invest their own funds, quite significant ones, to make sure it is like this. And that's why they can easily make open public presentations, because they have registered IP secured by virtual assets. A virtual asset is the instrument to sell shares of their IP. This way, they are selling their IP by using blockchain solutions as a convenient tool for transactions and for scale up. After building this solid legal foundation, they can simply develop business relations. They can close the deals. They can work all over the world. They don't need to additionally register themselves as, say, United States or Russia. Automatically, they get recognized in all those countries. This way, the business can be scaled up. And if they invent something new tomorrow, they can only strengthen their technology. They strengthen their portfolio to grow even bigger. And the assessment valuation we did, we were quite conservative in that, because if we look at the potential of their growth, I don't know whether you are well informed about the technology. It is highly scalable. Even if we take the medium optimistic scenario, the valuation was up to 500 million. But we are lawyers. We are more conservative. We take pessimistic scenarios always. We grounded them into realities. So $100 million, because there are many projects sold for 1 billion. There was a meme coin recently released. Yes, it's a fan thing. It is not about Dexnet. Dexnet, it's a strong, solid technological solution which has a hardware device, which with a written code, software code, and developed algorithm. And we are prepared to undersign this by our reputation and name. And we help the company to further develop. The foundation the company built for itself helps it to develop and attract new clients. Now they can work with investors, larger investors, and move further on. I believe that's what I had to share with you. I did it within 17 minutes. If there are any questions for me, I can take them. As an expert of this, because I've fully invested into the project, I can answer any questions. Thank you for your information. It was indeed very useful. I'm sure many people have seen something useful here, because it was done indeed for a reason. I would have added here one thing and say that now many people would be watching it, and especially haters and naysayers with a lot of negative thinking. Be careful about this, because we're at a totally new level, and we're in a different legal field, a legal playing field. So please be very careful about the company Dexnet. If you want to say something, you can simply come to our office and say it in our face. It is indeed a super solid argument, both about the valuation and the IP protection. There's very little for me left to add here. When it was mentioned that such an asset as a token, as a virtual asset through intellectual property, we have jumped from virtual sector to real sector. And this is indeed a huge change that happened here. And from now on, it's going to skyrocket. And based on blockchain and smart contracts, you as the owner of a Dexnet node, you're not going to be getting tokens, but IP shares, like micro shares of intellectual property. It is super cool, much cooler than getting just a token. And already it's changing everything over. Alexey, if you have any questions to ask, Igor, can I make a few comments here? Yes, please. There will always be haters. There will always be provokers. But remember, as long as they couldn't find a single loophole in the legal protection of the company and its valuation certification and its intellectual property, so such people will have to do something else. They will be slinging aspersions at you anyway. We saw some publications, but they're ridiculous, really laughable, because business-wise, they have no arguments to use against you. And if your partners are buying your hardware and invest into products, even if there are some problems with that, it is secondary. The product and the hardware has been fully registered. This is my initial idea. They're attacking this thing because they cannot do anything with the legal protection now. Second thing about the legality of operations and its connection to the smart contract. I can tell you one thing. If you have in your request, and I'm addressing now everybody who's buying the devices, but you have some questions from your authorities, make sure that your operation is legal. You just go to the Dexnet team. We are going to send you the whole history of registrations, links to online to verify your rights. Because based on your daily operations, you have the IP shares, and not everybody needs to confirm their rights. But if somebody would ask you some law enforcement questions, you can go to the Dexnet, because they will always have all the links to the official site of the project. On the site, there will be information about the IP, property rights of the company, and with all full description. In terms of law enforcement, it's not only the product development and its release on the market, but there are also instructions on how to use it in form of this legal explanations, consultations, and documents readily available for your perusal and use. Thank you. Thank you very much for the information shared. Dr. Sanjar, thank you very much for the detailed explanation. You were quite modest about this without really introducing yourselves fully for you to understand who is with us here on the Zoom call. It's not just a lawyer who we are asking to tell about what is happening with our company. Dr. Sanjar is one of the top 5 best specialists in the field of IP and has been recognized as such twice. And the company where Dr. Sanjar is the resident of is working at the top level. Dr. Sanjar, can you just a couple of words tell us about your company? I think it will be important for our community. Yes, very quickly. I have many titles. I'm a Muslim, and Muslim people are usually very modest. You can Google me on internet and find me. And I think I was recognized by the American associations, which has 100,000 such IP lawyers. I was recognized the top 5 best, and I was recognized top 1. And this is my certificate, which is a result of my 30-year career. We have quite a number of clients. We work with investment transactions. We have quite a number of cases. These are all our clients. So I can tell you that we're quite strong. We're top leaders of the world. We have more than 800 billion valuation scope for clients, and our level of investments is $3.8 billion. So this is information for you. Just punch into your search engine, leader of the market. I'm sorry, but because of my religion, I cannot brag about my achievements. Okay, once again, we see that those people who have a lot of experience and good results to rely on. They're usually super modest people saying that, yes, we are among the strongest in the world. There is a rule like other people need to do the PR for them. That's why I keep asking Dr. Sanjar to tell others about himself. Yes, indeed, we work with all the sheikhs and sheikh office and Saudi Arabia. So we are well known, and we are quite happy that we can bring happiness with our expertise. And we do a lot of difficult projects doing legal protection for super innovative projects. We're quite aware of this. We're leaders in that regard. Some people are asking questions. I see you. Where were you born? I thought you could find it in the internet. I can tell you, I was born in Uzbekistan, but I've been living in United Arab Emirates for the past 10 years. Before that, I lived in Europe and Japan and Singapore. But in the past 10 years, I've been living in United Arab Emirates. I've been working all over the world. And with 8 international offices, we have access to different cases. Legal, with the overall network employing 250 specialists. We are quite happy that we can help such innovative projects, not scam projects, who are having hard time, of course, because I'm sure you have to explain to everybody, people are still lacking trust. Of course, there are also projects to make money on, but aside from the legal side, we have good contact and chemistry at the personal level, because we believe that guys like that deserve to be known by others, so that everybody would know that, legally speaking, this company is super pristine and clean. Dr. Sanjar, thank you once again. From the depth of my heart, I thank you. I shake your hand. Thank you for sharing this information with our community about what we do, what you do. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. We'll stay over, but you can go, of course. Okay, now, dear friends, how do you like the information? Show us your fire signs, number 10s, whatever. How did you find this information on? Easy to understand or not? We'll summarize it at the end, and if there are any questions, of course, we'll take them. Okay, very good. Fire signs, fire signs. I guess still not everybody fully understands what's going on here, but the time will show, I'm sure. A bit later, we'll place these certificates on our site. You'll be able to see them, read them. With the link to the proper sites, you will see where they're registered, in which countries they have legal force. It will be shown there. Yes. A small reminder for you is that we have fully registered our intellectual property on Dexnet for the brand and everything available in Dexnet. What does it give us? There are 4 things listed here that helps us to develop further. First, it gives us a legal recognition in 181 countries of the world. Just like Dr. Sanjar has just mentioned, it's not simply a local projects here in Dubai or somewhere in Europe or only in one country. It's 181 countries of the world. It's virtually a whole world. Next, which is very important for us, we have, by this step, we built a bridge that upgraded us from the virtual sector of economy to the real sector of economy. And quite openly, Dr. Sanjar just mentioned that now we can say that we get a share of intellectual property every day. What you get from your device, or you're buying this token from the exchange. If somebody comes and asks you did you buy or a token, a virtual asset? No, you didn't buy a virtual asset. You bought a share in the intellectual property. This is the certificate. This is the official company. And you go and ask them questions. They come to us. We simply give them a big package of documents. We have it in the office, and whoever wants to, they can read all of it. So this is second important step. Third step for us, what we really wanted, and one of the cares of Alexey was to protect everything that has been done, because a lot of things have been done, and by this certificate, intellectual property certificate, we have protected everything, starting from the brand, domain, technology, hardware, software, services, whatever Dexnet has to offer, everything is protected. And in the same token, it covers 181 countries. It is so cool that in the first year, we already managed to do that. It is super important for the company, much more important than you can even imagine. And again, this step opens up new doors for us and new prospects at the international market, because we needed that. We held up some of the processes because we realized that we need to be protected and registered and certified first. That's why we told you that you will see at the end of the year. Remember, before our anniversary, we told you that we are going to have a reveal there. For us, we were thinking, wow, we need to undergo an audit. We were sitting over hours in our office for months, and Dr. Sanjar just covered some of the products there, because we were sitting every day in the office describing how they work to prove that they are unique, because our task was to prove that they're indeed unique and revolutionary, and the idea and the technology and everything. And we managed to prove that. That indeed, as I mentioned, opens up new horizons and new prospects for us, new advantages over our competition. Yes, and moving on, once again, will remind you that here it is like a portfolio of intellectual property, what was there. And for each one of these product or services or technologies, there are separate certificates. What Dr. Sanjar showed you, it is one certificate, but there can be a similar certificate for different products where you can describe what this product is about with the description and everything. And here you can see virtually everything, both Dexnet as technology and Dexnode as the device, and Dex1 as the communication channel, Dex Cloud, Dex Mobile, Dex Point, Dex Save, Dex VPN, and Dexnet Chain, which is a blockchain or a company. When we're talking about blockchain, we're saying that one of the advantages of blockchain is that it's going to be a blockchain fully protected from the beginning. It's going to be protected owing to the intellectual property, and the coin there on blockchain will be also like shares of intellectual property that will be sold and bought there. And we're going to be in the same sector with blockchain. We were planning to distinguish it from the whole portfolio because it's a separate big share, and we want to create a separate portfolio for blockchain because it's going to have a separate ecosystem with a lot of high-tech solutions, a lot of unique, unheard of, unprecedented solutions. So we are going to protect it separately. Alexey, anything to add here? I don't know what to add here. You and Dr. Sanjar have told us everything, and on December 15th, we told this story already. And with time, it takes some time for people to understand this. It's important for me because of two reasons. First reason, it's not like a reason now, but how do I put it? First reason is that the technology has been protected. All the services built on this technology have been protected. That unties our hands. It allows us to move forward without second thoughts that somebody will steal this technology or do something similar, without fearing that we're working with token, crypto industry, and blockchain. No matter how you look at this, is still a virtual sector of economy, which is still under-regulated. Now, we're fully in the real sector of economy. It means that we are fully protected, just like any other company located in the real sector of economy. This is the first very important thing for me. Second important thing for me, nobody now can say that this doesn't work, that these are all some fairy tales, because by these words, the person will show the level of their development, which I'm sure will be lower than that opponent is thinking about. So I guess I can be assured now, because when we were launching it, when we had no notes, when Alexey, somebody told me that you're going to fail, somewhere deep inside, I was really offended by that, because I took it as my baby, because that's what I live. I live Dexnet throughout my whole day, night, and everything. And when somebody comes and tells you that your baby is wrong, the ears are funny or something. No matter how you look at it, you still get bad feelings about this. But now I just smile at people who show their lack of knowledge, who haven't spent even 2 minutes of their time to see into it. And now we're talking about a totally different level. Now, Igor and I, we came to the Zoom call right from the negotiations room. And in the negotiations room, negotiations continue. That's where we have a delegation. I'm not going to tell you what delegation, where from, what kind of people are they, but this is a totally different league. Earlier, we were not even thinking about this level, but now it's at this super high level when Sheikh Majid can come to our office with such a delegation. And it's all being discussed there. And he's happy to see and talk to us. It's a totally different level, really. And super good that we're prepared for this level, prepared both legally, emotionally, technically, and it's good. It's good that we extend our wings throughout the whole 2024. We were working on protection of this technology to set up the basic number of DEX nodes, and we did it. And it gives us internal satisfaction and the feeling of stable and sustainable happiness. I guess you know what I'm talking about here. Now we are stepping into 2025. And with this foundation, with this baseline, we create history. I'm being torn apart by internal pride, not the pride like what a great job we did, but rather how calmly and not egoistically we're moving forward with that. Every hour step is not like we're trying to feel our direction. We know our direction already, and we follow it. And it is true about our whole team of Dexnet. For your understanding, Dexnet is not about Alexey Kedo and Igor Botnari. Dexnet is a team where every single member of our team deserves a credit for this phenomenon, what is happening here. And I'm proud of every single member of our team. Indeed, this is super great feeling when we're all together, hand in hand, marching forward. And that really inspires me. Thank you. One thing to add here is that the whole team has been working on this very diligently, especially in 2024, just like Alexey mentioned. It was a super important year for us, for the whole team of Dexnet, and we did what had to be done. It was the foundation that we had to build, because next we're going to build the walls, and it's going to be a super tall building that will continue to become taller and taller. The whole package, all the products and services of the company, the brands, domains, the site, everything has been packaged into a portfolio. And now you know what kind of valuation was given to us in the first year. It also makes us proud that we have done all this hard work for a reason. And this credit goes to every single member of the team. And I'm sure that this result already shows the seriousness of our intent on the market and how serious we are vis-a-vis other companies. I believe that Dr. Sajjar would never mention his name when he is top three experts in this field. He would never sign his name under these certificates and speak at such a Zoom call. It's also a big factor for you to understand that it's no longer a child's game for us. We're no longer a startup. We're way past that. By the certificate, both intellectual property certificate and valuation certificate, it goes to show that we're there for long. These are all real certificates. They're the documents recognized in 181 countries of the world. So I don't need to go into further words. They just show what has been done in the past year. And I believe that all the services and products to be released there, and we will release many more of them, all of them according to their roadmap. We will do that, and we will protect them. And everybody must understand that it will be protected not for a year, not for two. And today we were a bit surprised when we read once again, it mentioned 50 years, and we were saying that it will be 50 years. But it turned out that it is 50 years after our death, not 50 years from now. So the protection span is going to be much longer than that. So this way, all the questions about legality are stripped right away. And after our event, many local lawyers from Dubai came to our office. And the first thing I did, I took this folder, opened it up, and gave one piece of paper to them. Second certificate, just silently, just look at it. They look at it, they read it, and said, we have nothing to add. This is a stroke of genius, really. And we have no questions about legality. Whoever wants to come to our office, Dr. Sajjar already mentioned different organizations that exist all over the world, including Dubai, related to virtual assets and cryptocurrency and funds. You can come to our office, and we're fully protected, fully legit everywhere. And to be perfectly honest with you, doing this strategic meetings, for me, it was a huge support. We were discussing it with Alexey for many times, like what kind of move we need to make when we can really talk to whoever comes to the office here, because it's super strict in Dubai without cryptocurrency and how to promote it. But now, from now on, it's no holds barred. We can be talking about honestly and loudly, because Dexnet token is a share of our intellectual property, which is duly registered. It's fully open and transparent, and we're free to talk about this. In fact, this is what we wanted to share with you today. I know if you have some questions in chat, we can take the questions, but I guess you have received enough information for today to get a general idea about intellectual property, about this idea and the solution. If there are still some outstanding questions, we can take them. If there are no further questions, then we can wrap it up for today. Legal packaging is super cool. Yes, agreed. And how does it affect the Dexnode holders in terms of legality? Anton, it has a super positive effect on them because you work in the real sector of economy. Once again, I repeat, the virtual sector of economy is seemingly not banned, but it's not seemingly allowed either. So you can always turn it both ways. But now we work fully in the real sector of economy, just like you do. So you are fully protected, and Dr. Sajjar was talking about this. There are some further questions. Can we get a copy of the certificate for each product? Yes. These documents will be placed on the official site of Dexnet.one. I mentioned it, we're going to post them there. When can we expect the Dexnet listing on Binance? When we have big enough community. Here, we need your assistance, because until we have 1 million crypto wallets with our token, not just created crypto wallets, but real active ones with transactions. It makes no sense for us even to look towards the. That's why please help us with that. The earlier you help us with that, the earlier will be listed there. There was a question asked earlier. I will take it. If Dexnet will move into coin and so on, Dexnet token is going to stay as token, and the intellectual property certification showed us that it is the best way to do it like this. It will be the best way in the whole ecosystem. We have a blockchain which must have its own coin. We want to have a separate sector with a protected blockchain with all the technologies and innovative instruments and so on. And at the blockchain, there will be a separate coin, blockchain coin. Token will stay a token on BEP20. It will migrate to DEX20, our blockchain, but the coin will be a separate story, a separate asset, separate cryptocurrency. It will be coin, not token of the blockchain itself, with which you will be paying for transactions and everything. So coin will be responsible for blockchain, and token Dexnet is responsible for the whole ecosystem. Yes, the whole ecosystem, or whatever stands behind token, will continue to exist. All the products, all the services will use Dexnet token, just like nowadays. That's my answer. And we are almost done with the tokenomics, including white paper. Everything will be prepared in the first quarter. As early as February, maybe you'll be able to see the full picture of blockchain, how it's going to be released on the market. And we will be able to tell you that it's going to be very interesting. There will be an interesting wave of market entry because now we are going to stand on this wave and move forward with the coin and the whole ecosystem of blockchain, tokenomics, white paper, and the rest. Very soon, we're going to enter the separate broadcast, and it's going to be super interesting. We'll tell you everything, and you'll understand how it works. Good. Thank you, Igor. Guys, I suggest we wrap it up now. We've done it for the whole hour now. Yes, more questions are coming, but I suggest we postpone the questions for the separate AMA session. I guess we shouldn't do AMA session every Tuesday. We're going to slow down. Please get used to us. Secondly, it takes too much time, and most of the questions get repeated. We'll do it less frequently, but more interestingly, maybe. Okay, guys, then let's wrap it up now. And I would like to thank everybody for being here, for listening to us. I guess you have received valuable information for today. Thank you, Alexey, for being with us today. I thank Dr. Sanjar, the whole team who helped us, who was running the Zoom call. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the evening and see you very soon with some additional news and questions. Yes, thank you, Igor. I thank our team. I thank Nikolai, the interpreter, and all other moderators. You're writing about my cap. Yes, Valery, this is my second baseball cap. I promised first one to Alexander. The second one will go to Valery. Just that I know whether they don't get confused. Let's stop on this because I also need a baseball cap. I cannot put on a new baseball cap each time. Okay. Hugs and kisses, everyone. Bye-bye. Have nice the rest of the evening.